All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Hopefully, this time you guys can hear us and everything is okay. We'll find out and see. For some reason, it's just not coming up. Um, I should be able to hear you guys, should be able to hear me. And let's see. We'll find out if what's going on. I hear you. Okay, cool. Well, welcome, guys. We are back, and I have Susan here, and this is the first time that she's actually going to be on the podcast, on our live YouTube. So, guys, I was just really thinking about this because there has been a lot of people have been calling for um, talking about for advice and everything else like that, and finding out what they're actually charging customers. And after I literally explained to them what the industry standards were, a lot of them are undercharging people. So one of the things is charging people what you're worth, what you feel that you're worth. There's guys out there that are charging really, really cheap, and um, they think that, oh, because they charge really cheap that they get um, that they get the job or what have you. Um, One of the things that we really look at in the industry is where we're going and what we are doing in the industry. And it's getting better and better every year for solar panel cleaning. That's a given. Um, Susan does a lot for me. She does a lot of the booking for me. She gets a lot of the repeat customers for me. She does a lot, and it takes a big load off of me because she's kind of doing that and getting that taken care of. So when it comes to customers, she is the face of the customers now when because people interact with her over the phone and they interact um, during the transaction and what have you. So you want to enlighten them as far as what you kind of do. I kind of went over it, but um, when a customer calls you and so forth, what um, where do you go in that direction?
Whenever a customer calls me, I always, ask them their name, their phone number, their address, their email, how many panels they have, one story or two story. Because for me, I'm very detail oriented. I like to make sure we have all the information and I can input it into the calendar and into
Or
our
QuickBooks?
payment, our QuickBooks,
Yeah.
um, just to make sure that I get all the information. Because if I'm missing something, then then I have to keep asking the customer, what was that information again? I don't want to have to keep repeating myself every 6 months when I already want all the information. That way I can just put down them on the schedule and just let them know, okay, you're scheduled for this day at this time. I have all your information. And the only thing I have to ask them is their credit card information. But other than that, I just like to make sure Henry's not very detail oriented, but I'm very detail oriented. So it just helps makes things run smoothly when I make the appointments.
Yeah, I'll be the first to contest to that. Sometimes I won't get an email, or sometimes I just don't get information that I should really be getting, and that's something that I'm getting better at now. But before I didn't do that. When Rick and I were started this business, um, when we started this business, a lot of things we didn't get, like an email or a phone number or what have you. So when it came down to Susan coming along, she was really, detailed when it came to that. So, that for us, or for me, helped me out quite a bit. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. I'm hoping that you guys can hear us fine, but um, what's going on? AM Pressure Washing, Tara Lynn, Petra, Major Ken, where have you been? All Solar Cleaning Services. Uh, Hello, everyone. The whole crew is here. So let's talk about prices, okay? Um, there are a few mistakes that people make. People make these mistakes all the time. For example, putting prices on your website. One of the biggest no-nos is putting prices on your website, because I want the customer to actually call me or call us so we can explain what we do and what they're getting with their services, because we have a lot of services to offer. We have tons of services to offer. So when we go out there, we basically will explain to the customer what they're getting when they're getting bird proofing, or they're getting solar panel cleaning, or when it comes to commercial and residential. So we already know it's getting really busy now. And one of the things now, and Susan is seeing, is the phone calls ringing. They're starting to ring off the hook, and we're booked. We're actually booked out 2 weeks. So we every day we're even working with
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day for one of our big corporations, because um, uh, we don't have time other than working on that Monday when everybody else is off. We got a big corporation that we're doing, and we had to fit them in. Also, we had another corporation that gave us a call, and so we put in the bid for that, and now we're going to be doing work for that. So um, when a customer calls, one of the things is, we always let them know, whoever you go with, doesn't matter who you go with for us, because we know what we can produce, and we know what type of services we give. So when we go out there and we do bird proofing or solar panel cleaning or window washing or whatever, we uh, we just tell them, hey, we're not doing it for such a small amount. And there's a lot of you guys out there that are going to not make it, because you have a certain period of time, and that time right there is when everybody calls. And it's like Christmas. When you're buying gifts for Christmas, you know you by the 26th, everything stops. It's like a brick wall. And when you're slow. I mean, as far as the phones ringing, how many?
Dead silence in the wintertime,
Yeah. So
especially if it rains.
if it rains and you're in the rainy season, yeah, it's going to be extremely slow, and you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do in the meantime in order to, um, you know, keep this business afloat. And this year has been very tough on me, and the business itself has been very tough for rainy season, because it kept raining and kept raining, and we were waiting for the phones to ring. I was out there pushing everything I possibly could as far as marketing was concerned, and it 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 basically now you can't stop the phone from ringing. It's literally ringing as soon as we wake up in the morning. People are getting quotes, so we know if we're busy, y'all are probably busy too. When it comes down to that. Um, One of the things that Susan does for me is she calls my repeat customers. And how does that come along? How do you like, doing that?
I like calling the customers back. A lot of times I like to leave messages, letting them know if they can't get a hold of Henry, they can also get a hold of me, because a lot of times Henry could be on the phone or he's up on the roof or whatever he's doing. He can't get to the phone right away. So they have an alternative phone number where they can call me and I can get back to them as soon as I can. Because a lot of times when Henry's on the roof, phone's ringing. I don't like it when he's answering the phone up on the roof while he's busy working. So if I can, I'll take the phone call and I'll take the message for him if I can answer any of their questions while I'm down on the bottom. Then I'll answer them for it, or I'll take messages, letting him know he'll call them back when he's done.
Right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the comment box there. We'll be answering some questions for you guys if you guys have any. If not, we'll cut it short and call it an evening and go out to dinner. How's that? Yeah, we can do that too. So, but let me see here. Okay, so everybody can hear me. That's great. And then Major Ken had mentioned something about pitch roofs here in California. He says y'all got it easy in California. The roofs here on the East Coast is difficult with the roof pitches. You know, there's like pitch hoppers out there that you guys can use for some of these roofs out here that you can get up on the real steep incline on the roofs fairly easy. But or you can try to get up there and just be safe about it. I don't use pitch hoppers. I get up on the roof fairly easy. I've been climbing roofs for a long time, so you know exactly how to do it. And I think I just did a video on a real steep roof that we did where I was literally on my butt sitting down cleaning solar panels. Sometimes you have to do that. Tara Lynn says, all that money to be made. Oh, of course. AM Pressure Washington says, I see you, Susan, all glamorous styling and profiling. Yes, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. So
I don't get on the roof all the time, Mark. Sometimes I don't feel comfortable getting up on the roof, but if I can, and Henry feels that it's safe for me to go up there, then I'll go up there with him and I'll do all the videos for him. Sometimes I could do the videos from the bottom because where the panels are, I could see them from the backyard.
yeah.
So I'll be able to do the videos and get close-up shots while he's up there.
Nijaz Watt Fire, do you use hot water when you go on the roof? No, we don't. Our system doesn't have a broiler on it, so we don't use hot water. We don't pressure wash, you know, sidewalks or anything. We do solar panel cleaning for commercial, for residential, and bird proofing, but we don't use hot water because we just don't have it. But you know, if we had the hot water system, then I'm sure you know we can get out there and do other things. But we just don't do don't ever put hot water on solar panels. That'd be the worst thing you can do. Henry, how can I get a hold of you? Do you have an email? Yes, we do, SR. We do have an email. Carolyn says the gentleman from Suez said that a few solar panel cleaning companies have closed their accounts in Las Vegas. I'm like, what? Oh, yes. There, and this all comes to pricing. So let's talk about pricing, okay? Let's talk about that. There are people out there that are charging very little, and we are. You want to go out there and price what you are worth, okay? And one of the best advice I can give you guys is you always price high, and you always price high and literally have that customer at the price that you want, but it has to be priced high. Doesn't matter if it's a residential or commercial, because you'll be surprised how many people don't get your services if you price way too low, because they think that there's something wrong. They think that there is something wrong with your pricing when they've been pricing elsewhere. They're customers are very, very smart. Whether it's whether it's residential or whether it's commercial. We just got a new a contract, and it was with the hotel, and we priced it high. We priced it high because there was a lot of work that had to be done, and we got it. So um, we kind of say this: if you price high, you can always go lower. If you price low, you can't go higher because it's harder for you to price higher than it is to price lower. Same thing with commercial. We have a huge account coming up, and it's almost done. The building is huge, and we already been told that to put in our bid for it. So we already know what we give them as far as pricing, and so it's 5 times buildings 5 times bigger than the one that we're doing now for one of our major corporate accounts, and so we are excited about that because we did get a phone call, and he did say, "Hey, I need you guys to put in a bid for it." So when a commercial account like a Fortune 500 company is calling you and asking you to put in bids, you're doing something right, whether it's your service or what have you. And one of the things that I always want to do is make sure that we take care of our customer, whether they're residential or whether they're commercial. And so Susan will come out and she will, for example, send pictures. She's real, when she goes out and she goes out and gets the total price and charges that customer. Well, tell them you're here, so let me do all the talking. Tell them your process and how you go about doing that.
Well, when I go out with Henry and we do a walkthrough of the commercial account, um, we count how many panels, or we take
Or
pictures,
windows or
or
anything
windows or
else.
anything. I start taking pictures. I count everything that while Henry's talking to the contractor. That way, at least we have all the information that we need so that he can put the bid in for the commercial account.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is hard for me to do is count how many solar panels or count how many windows or whatever when we're out at a commercial account. So I'll have her do it. Also, I'll have her take pictures and really get closer. So it kind of gives me an idea. So when I do put in a bid, I put in that bid and I already know, well, what if a customer calls me for, like, say, window cleaning, right? And they say, well, we want the screens taken off. Well, that's extra labor, so we're charging to take screens off, take screens put screens back on, and then we ask to say, okay, is there paint on there? If there's paint on there, we have to give it a little extra attention. That's extra. If there's oxidization because of the rain sprinkler systems or what have you on the bottom that's really white, and we got to clean those up, that's extra money. And just using windows as an example, but same thing with solar. We always want to find out, hey, when was the last time that you had your solar panels cleaned? And if they tell me never, we're charging more because it's going to go out there and really we have to do extra.
A lot of times when I went out on the commercial jobs, especially the window cleaning, sometimes Henry and his crew are too busy to answer any questions that the main project manager has whenever they show up and they want to know the progress of the cleaning. And I'm kind of like the person that they can go to let them know what's going on, what the update is, because Henry is in the middle of cleaning windows and he might be like on a third level on a boom lift, so he can't get down and answer the questions for the project manager. So I'm kind of like the person on the ground. And if there's the project manager does his walkthrough, looks at something that looks still dirty or has any questions, I'm right there where he can talk to and ask questions. And then if I don't know the answer to it, I'll wait till Henry's done and I'll let him know, hey, this is what the project manager says, and then he'll take it from there.
Yeah. This year, just and not to switch subjects, but this year there's been a lot of rain. There are a lot more birds out there, a lot more pigeons out there, and so we already know that we are getting busier and busier with bird proofing. And there's guys out here that are charging ridiculous prices for bird proofing, and we got to go back out there and redo the work. We know why they're charging what they're charging, because they're not doing everything that they should be doing. And don't be afraid to sit there and charge what you're worth, because if you go out there and you try to be competitive with these other guys, then you're going to be in the same situation a few months down the road, where you didn't make enough money throughout the season. And just to let you guys know, this season, uh from March all the way to November is our season. Okay, we anything after that, it slows way down. um, and anybody who's been in this industry and been in this business will tell you, this is the season. So this is when everybody starts to call, whether it's commercial or whether it's residential. And I had somebody had called me the other day and basically said that they had charged peanuts for a commercial account. And I just said, wow. I said, I would not even have touched this with the price that you had. I said, because at the end of the day, you don't have the equipment, and you're going to have to hire a lot of people, and it's going to take you weeks, not days, to get this done. And if you have the equipment to get it done, it's even better. If you have, a rotating brush, and you could do your job a lot quicker with the rotating brush than you do a water fed pole. You guys know who you are, because you call me all the time and you say, "Yeah, I have a water fed pole." And how do you go out there and clean 50 solar panels in 15 minutes, 20 minutes? That's very easy. If you have the equipment, you can do that. And you can always price, knowing that you're going to make more money by having the right equipment than going out there and not having the right equipment and being out there and splitting it with your buddy or splitting it with somebody else. And there goes half your profits. And at the end of the day, um, you didn't charge enough.
Henry's had a lot of customers ask him, how long is it going to take for you to clean my panels? It could be like 30 or 20 panels, or if not more. And he says, oh, 15 minutes. They're like, that's it? And he explains to them it's because of what he uses. And a lot of times he'll show them exactly what he's using to clean their panels. He'll show them the inside of his van and show them exactly what he has to clean their panels so quickly.
Yeah, and a lot of times we'll go out there now, especially for bird proofing. Bird proofing, we want to make sure that we are charging. We're charging, um, what we should be charging. Okay, because yeah, when you're out there and you're doing bird proofing and getting that done, it's hard. It's not easy. I can't even keep guys because they won't last. And like right now, I'm actually doing bird proofing by myself, and I have Susan up here helping me, doing the best I can, because there's guys out here that they can't work full time. They sit in here and well, I'm working part time, or I'm going to school, or I just want to learn for a couple of weeks, and I need full time guys. Right now, like I said, we are almost 3 weeks out. We're 2 weeks out right now, and we're booking even after Memorial Day. We're still have more people calling us, and honestly, that's a really good thing for us, because we know that it the money's there.
And we've noticed a lot lately that a lot of residential customers are asking if you have insurance.
Oh,
We've been getting that a lot lately.
yes, yes, absolutely. And I'm going to get to you guys' chat right here. I'm reading all of them at the same time, but I will get to everybody. I promise you guys that I'll try to get to everybody. If you have questions, feel free to put it in chat, and we'll answer that. I just want to be able to talk about, our pricing, okay, how we go about doing that. I personally am not going to tell anybody what we charge for bird proofing, or what we charge for residential, or what we charge for commercial. But I will tell you industry standards and what you should be charging.
Yeah, a lot of residentials don't ask for the insurance, but lately they haven't. I think probably because they've come across people that have done the job, but yet they find out later on that they didn't have the proper insurance.
Yeah.
Or they didn't have anything for that matter.
Or they're breaking tiles, or there's something going on to, but yeah, I mean, most residential won't even ask for insurance, just because they have it. It's a different mindset. It's a matter of, okay, I don't care what it takes to clean my panels. I just want them clean, and I'll go as cheap as possible. So a lot of them have that mindset, but they don't realize that if somebody doesn't clean their panels correctly, they could do more damage than good. These systems are 20, 30, 40, $50,000 systems, especially when you get up to the Tesla systems. They're even more money. And when you get an amateur up there and maintaining your solar panels, it can cause more damage than good. I always ask myself this: look, if you're going to get an operation, don't you want the best doctor out there to take care of you, to operate on you? Or are you looking at price to get the cheapest guy out there to go out there and work on you? It's the same thing. You got to go out there and be a professional in this business.
And a lot of times there's customers that even though they see the insurance and all that, they still have more questions about how long have you been in the business, what they just have a lot of different questions, and they just want to make sure that they get somebody good and that knows what they're doing, and not just do a mediocre kind of job.
Right. Right now, we're even getting customers from 6 months ago calling us back and saying, hey, I need to, get our solar panels clean, or I got bird proofing that needs to be done, and they're calling us. And now we're getting busier and busier, and now I need the help. So I'm actually contracting work out right now to some of the jobs that I can't get to. I'm contracting that work out. And I'm only contracting the work out to the guys out there that have the right equipment, that I know are able to go out there and get it done, and get it done right. So again, even like with bird proofing, I was talking earlier that there's more pigeons out now, and I'm noticing that because I'm getting a lot more orders now for our Spanish tile cutouts for bird proofing, and even our bird proofing material. We're getting a lot of orders, and they're not cheap orders.
It's always a good idea when you're talking about bird proofing and you're quoting them to show them the material that you're using and the clips you're using,
right,
so that they get a better feel of what they're getting on their panels, because it helps them to see that you're not using cheap mesh on their panels.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to talk about some of the customers that after the job is done, about you going out there and just giving them all the information, the dot card and all that.
Oh,
While you're doing that, I'm gonna put in my email. Somebody had asked for my email, so go ahead.
So after Henry's done with the bird proofing, like the other day, he was done with the bird proofing. The customer came out and asked if we wanted water, because a lot of customers, when it's hot, they know that, oh, maybe we'll give them some water. But at the same time, she was asking, how everything was going. I said, oh, he's already done with the bird proofing. All he has to do is go up there and clean it. She's like, oh, wow. She was very impressed with how quickly he was able to get the bird proofing done. And I reassured her that the birds are not going to get underneath the panels because he did it right. He shows them before and after pictures. That way they feel confident and better about any birds coming back on top of the roof, because a lot of times a lot of residents are very annoyed with the noise that they get at 5 o'clock in the morning with the pigeons sitting on their roof. So they're willing to pay the money because they're tired of it. They're tired of birds. Like anybody else, I would be annoyed if there's birds sitting on the roof constantly at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Well, people will pay almost anything to get rid of those birds, especially if they're out there at 5 o'clock in the morning and they're cooing and everything else, making a mess and what have you. And one of the things is they will pay for that, and how I work so fast is I want to get off the roof as quick as I can because I want to beat the heat, right? I don't want to be out there working and getting heat exhaustion or what have you. Um, so I'm doing jobs earlier now and getting out there a lot earlier than we were before and knocking them out, and then going on to the next job. I won't book no more than 6 jobs a day, and
he won't do 2 or 3 bird proofings in a day, only one, because
yeah,
he wants to make sure he has enough time to get
anything
everything done.
anything can go wrong with bird proofing, and a customer won't always tell you everything. They won't tell you how many pigeons are actually under there because they don't know. It isn't until you get under there that you find out that there's 7 or 8 pigeons that you got to remove from underneath the solar panels or the nest or what have you. So you got to be really, really um, aware of what you charge, because if you didn't charge enough, then you are going to pay for it at the end.
So yeah, anytime the customer, when Henry's done with all the bird proofing or solar panel cleaning, I take the payment up there with the customer. I take the credit card payment and I send them a receipt right there and then, and I send him his digital business card, and that way they're all taken care of. If they pay by check, I also give them a receipt right there and then. Even cash payments too, I take their payments. I send them a receipt.
Right. We have a great merchant services that we use, and it took us a while for us to get the great rates that we got. So we use that. We also use QuickBooks. Um, Mark at AM Pressure Washing uses what was using the QuickBooks, and we just kind of followed in his footsteps, and it was working out really, really nice. I'm getting more comfortable with the QuickBooks now to be sending them out and then having them pay for it. And especially we're using that for our bird proofing. So we'll have them pay for it first, and then we'll go out there and fill the orders. And so it's a learning process, right? It's a learning process every single day. And I mean, we got card readers out there. Susan can go out there and get on her phone and just do it, charge the customer right there without
And
anything.
that's probably the best thing to do, because we've come across a couple of times where we've had to wait until we get back to the office to take the payment, but you don't want to wait too long, because then we're playing a cat and mouse game to try to get the payment from the customer. And one of the customers, we waited about 2 weeks to try to collect the payment.
Yeah, we've never had issues with people paying us for bird proofing or solar panel cleaning, whether it was commercial or residential. I can tell you, I had one person that was a solar contractor, and we had a hard time. He hired us for his customers, and we went to one of his customers, and it was hard to collect the money from him. As a matter of fact, we had charged $400 for the solar panel cleaning in that instance, And no, I take that back. It was $500
Mhm.
for the solar panel cleaning, and we got $400 out of it, and we never received the other $100. So it wasn't the resident, or it wasn't, a commercial account or what have you. It was actually a contractor. And one of the biggest mistakes that I didn't do was I should have got a W-9 from him, and I should have got information from him to where I could have gone back after him. And so whoever I deal with now, I do get the proper paperwork that I need, just in case I need to go back after that person or what have you. But for the 3 years that I've been doing this business, I have not one customer stiff us or not pay for our services. Everybody has actually paid. So that's a good thing. AM Pressure Washing says, what's happening, everyone? All solar cleaning services. Yes, we can. Petra says it takes a partnership to make a small business grow. AM Pressure Washing Mark says, about time you get on the roof, Susan. There you go. Finally, all that money to be made. I see you, Susan, all the glamorous styling and profiling.
I'm a petite person. I'm 5'2", and if I feel that I can get up on the roof, then I'll get up on the roof. I sometimes I don't like getting on the roof because I know that it's a little more steep than I would like to be up, and I'll stay on the bottom. But for the most part, if I can, I'll get up there and I'll help Henry do some of the jobs, especially cleaning the solar panels with the Solitech brush.
Yeah, it's sometimes I need a break, so there's a lot of panels, and I won't have her get on the edge or anything. I'll have her do all the ones
I stay in the middle of the roof.
Stay in the middle of the roof. I mean, and that's what you should be doing with anybody that is new in the game or in the business, because they just don't know. So they'll learn, and it's a learning process. That's the best way to teach somebody, about the equipment, about what you should be cleaning, how you should be cleaning it, and explaining it to them, and making sure that they get it, and then they get it right, and continue doing that. I even have her down on the bottom. She's out there starting the engine, and priming the hose and getting all that taken care of. So she does a lot of that while I'm getting all the other stuff ready and getting it out there ready to get cleaned. So if she can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm a little person. I'm petite, so I can do it. If I'm able to, I can do it, and it's good exercise with that brush because it's not as hard as I thought it would be. It's good exercise for me on my arms. That's the way I look at it. I look at it as a positive thing.
Right.
And to me, I don't feel that it's heavy at all. So.
Yeah. 3MCE Solar says, I really like your channel. I'm evolving every day with your information from Brazil. Well, welcome. Hopefully everything is good on your side of the world. Munz Panel Wash, hello all, and thank you for being a super subscriber there, Munz. Appreciate that. And Petra says, let me see, I think I lost it. Where is it? She says, we have a prospect client in Northern California that has 66,000 panels. How would you charge? Well, Petra, you got to charge per panel. When you are looking at systems that are megawatt systems, figure out exactly what you have, what equipment you're going to be using, and take that into consideration. Because if you are going to be using the right equipment for it, it's going to make your job a lot easier. If you're using simple brushes or anything else like that, you got to charge what you're worth. And you basically have to kind of have an idea what other people in Northern California are charging. I know in the Central Valley and Fresno, Bakersfield, there's a lot of commercial competition up there. So there's a lot of guys charging industry standards. And so you there could be in the price range of $5 per panel to 23 cents per panel. Just depends what type of equipment that you're going to be using. Are you getting contracts? Are you going out there and actually getting contracts? If you're getting contracts, you give that person a break and charge a little bit less. But if the panels, when were the last time the panels ever been cleaned? With all the rain and everything, all the dust and all the storms and all that, how dirty are they because they haven't been cleaned in months and months and months. I know there's one particular commercial account that we looked at probably about 4 months ago, and I can tell you right now, us going back there and taking care of that same account, we're going to charge more because it's probably a lot worse than what it was 4 months ago. So we'll renegotiate the contract and kind of go from there. But Northern California just depends exactly where it is, how far you got to travel. You got to charge travel expenses. Are you using boom lifts? Are you using, tractors? What are you actually using? You got to pay for gas. You got to pay for diesel. All those expenses got to come into play. For example, when we go out and we rent a boom lift, we're in the neighborhood of anywhere from $800 to $1,000 on a 3-day weekend. And, just depends if you're using a 60-footer, which is a bigger one that we use for one of our accounts. Diesel, we had to pay $200 in diesel because they charged so much money just to fill that thing right back up. And that was almost empty. So, we charge what we think that customer is going to go with, and that's what you have. That's a touchy situation because everybody and all these corporations have budgets. That some of them have millions of dollars that they can spend. Some of them have thousands of dollars that they can spend. Some of them are going to be so cheap that they may tell you, you know what, it's a little too high or what have you. You can kind of get that feel from them as soon as you give them a price per panel, and they say, well, okay, thank you very much. And I always ask, I say, was there a problem with the price? Is it too high for you? And if they tell me yes, then I'll say, okay, let me see what I can do, and maybe price it out just a little bit less for them and see if they go for it. But don't price it out so less that where you're not going to get you're not going to make any money off of it, because that's the whole idea. You have a company, and that particular company that hires you is going to ask for insurance, ask for workman's comp, ask for anything else as far as pricing on boom lifts, anything else, travel expenses. They're gonna ask for all that, and they're gonna want to know what the total dollar is when it comes to that. Let me see which one. Royal Casa. What's up there, Royal Casa? If I am self-provider, can I get commercial and residential jobs with the self-provider? I can get insurance. What is the price of insurances? I don't know where you're at, Royal. If you're out of the country, it could be totally different. I do have a commercial guy that I use, and I suggest him to a lot of people. Same thing with Mark at AM Pressure Washing. He uses that guy too, and he does commercial, and he'll give you the commercial insurance, and you can use that for residential. And most of the time, it's either a $2 million policy or a $3 million policy. Your auto, you want to get no less than $1 million policy if you can, to kind of help you out with that. Just talk to your insurance person. Let them give you the prices. I am not an insurance guy, so I can't go around and say, this is good or this is good. I leave that up to them when it comes down to that.
It's always important to get insurance on your equipment.
Yes. Very, very
and
true.
Your van, if you get it wrapped. always good to get insurance.
That's
that
that's a really, really good point. There is an actual separate insurance for that. Um, and I found that out after my guys wrecked my back of my van, and I had to take it to the body shop, and the insurance company uh, didn't cover the wrap, and I had to go back to the person that I actually got the wrap from, and he charged me an arm and a leg again, and I had to pay for it. Uh, and the insurance company basically said that's under a different umbrella as far as that, because that didn't come with the vehicle, that came after the vehicle, and that's something that you decided to put on. So always ask if you're getting your vehicle wrapped or what have you for insurance for that. So they cover that also. And that was something that we had to learn the hard way. And, you know, but this is what you do. Negas Wattfire says, do you start with residential or commercial customers? And will it be different price?
We notice a lot of people who want to get into the business. They always ask Henry about commercial. How do I price commercial? It's always good if you're starting fresh, new, you don't have a lot of money. Start with residential just to get your feet wet and just to build up your clientele, and don't jump the gun and get a commercial account.
Yeah.
Even though the money's good, it's very hard to get a commercial account when you're starting fresh.
You better learn how to swim if I'm going to take you out into the middle of the ocean and dump you off. You better know how to swim. If not, you're going to drown. And that's how you have to look at things. That's the best analogy that I can give you, is don't go after the big fish when you don't know how to go out there and fish for the little fish. Okay. So start out as residential. And I know people that actually are in the commercial side of it that said they wish that they went with residential first. And that was one of the things that I decided to do, was I was able to go out there and um, do residential and then work my way up to commercial. And I bought the right equipment for the commercial. So now I'm comfortable with somebody turning around saying, hey, we have 5,000 solar panels. Can you get that done? And by the end of the day, they have a bid for those 5,000 solar panels.
And you have to also understand that Henry puts a lot of videos out there. He's even improved on getting his website all built up, brand new. And people look at that and they see that it's very professional. It looks great. He sees exactly what he does, what type of work he does. And that's really important, especially being known on Google My Business, because that's where he's been getting a lot of his clientele, because they are looking at everything that he puts out there. And if you don't put yourself out there with videos or pictures or anything like that, no one's going to find you. And that's where you're going to have a difficult time, finding jobs out there, because you're not showing the work that you do.
Yeah, there is so for example, we're getting a lot of commercial accounts now that are calling us. And we didn't have that 2 weeks ago. So what I did is I changed my website. If you guys go to my website now, you're able to take a look at everything, pictures. You're able to book right there on the website itself, and um, and now I even offer a 30% discount on first time customers for summer. And they have to put in their name, their address, their phone number, all that information that goes onto the website. If not, they don't get that percentage off. And I do that to bring the customer in. And I already know that once I'm able to get them as a customer, they usually stay as a customer because they want to be able to get the same services. And I tell them exactly, this is what I charge, and it's going to be like this for as long as you have me. And I have gone back to customers now for about 4 or 5 times now as repeat customers. So I'm building that up as we go along. And so yeah. All right. Which one? Down? Let's see here. Mark Major Ken says I got a little liability for 1 million for around $1,000. There you go, a little less. Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to go out there and get your insurance and make sure you have enough. That's the main thing, is getting your insurance. And Pressure Washington says, good night, everyone. See you soon. Got a little tired. Couldn't hang with the big boys, Mark. What's going on? Anyways, commercial out here asked for 2 million liability. Yes, exactly. That's whether it's in Nevada or whether it's in California. You're absolutely right. I have a $2 million policy minimum. So Petra says we have a 2.4 million.
No, 2 and 4.
Oh, 2 and a 4 million and a 5 million umbrella, just as protection. That could they can sue you just for the kick, and you need the protection. Yes. It's always good to have more insurance than what you really need, because some people are going to ask for it. There are companies, new companies out here that don't even do their own bidding. They have contractors out there that will call you and get work for their customers, or they're taking care of it. Who else? Oh, Petra says we ask for credit cards to schedule the service. They usually don't have an issue with it given to us. Right, absolutely. Major Ken says I am learning about solar panel cleaning every day in the field. If you're not learning, you will never grow. Absolutely.
Can't wait to see you again, Major Ken.
Yeah.
We had a great time with you and your wife.
Okay. Yes, we did. And Petra and a few other people. Rod R. Hey guys, summer is here. Let's go. That's right. Major Ken says, shoot, panels here in the North Carolina haven't been cleaned in years, and some of the residential.
That's the same out here too.
Yeah, it's no different. I mean, well, before I even say anything else, guys, smash the like button up here, please. Give me a like on this content. We're going on 52 minutes already. Appreciate it if you do give us a thumbs up. That helps us out, and so forth. Petra says we use the robot and there is water access. Absolutely. She also says she has her own boom lift, so that makes things a lot easier when you do that. Royal Casa says how many days you can finish 50,000 panels. Thank you, Henry. 50,000 panels is not a lot of panels. You can get that done if you have the right equipment in about a week. With some equipment, there's other equipment out there that you can get them done in days. So it just depends what type of equipment you have. If you have a water-fed pole, then you're looking months. And I don't even think that they'll last. But on pretty much, if you're in the 500 to 700 range of a day for cleaning solar panels on we'll say solar farms, ground mounts, ideally you can do that with a brush. But if you got a couple of brushes, say you have a couple of the C1000s or 3 or 4 of the C1000s out there, you can get done fairly quickly. If you have the robots out there, you can get them done even more quickly. If you have the tractors with the 15-foot brushes, you can get them done even faster. So there's many ways to go out there and get the stuff done, and you have to take that into consideration when you put in your bid.
You also have to put in consideration, you have to go on a walkthrough on the job for commercial, because you need to know where your water source is at and what other obstacles you might come across. That way it helps you put the bid in, because if you don't know where any of that stuff is, you're going to be in trouble out there. Right?
Look at you, welcome this information. Damn, I trained her really, really good. I mean, I don't know where that came from, but wow, awesome, good information, Susan.
Oh, and it's important to find out if it's a commercial camp, it's an office building, where the bathroom is. Very, very important, because you're out there, you need to go to the bathroom. You need to ask them. You can ask them, where can I use the bathroom in here before they close? Especially you're at an 8 to 5 business building.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Major Ken says, by hand, 500, 1,000 pounds a day, roughly. Yes, absolutely. What's up there, Jerry Foster? Jerry Foster says, do you need workers' comp if you don't have employees and do the work yourself? Here in California, they require, some companies are requiring workman's comp. So you got to show that you have workman's comp even for one employee. And you yourself, you are an employee. So, yeah. So I don't know. I think you're in Arizona. I don't know how it is over there, but other states, just check your states, figure out if you do need workman's comp. Some states are different. I know Florida is different than here in California, and so forth. So, also, let me see where we at. Major Ken says three or four wraps here in North Carolina, about $800 to $1,000. Yes. Royal Casa says, Henry, I saw a couple persons that their skid caught fire. Why? Oh, okay. That wasn't from my channel. That was actually from Mark's channel. And from what I understand, I think he had a video on fire extinguishers, I believe. It was, or what was it?
I think that he had gas around the.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was a while back. But what happened was one of his customers who purchased his equipment had a trailer and was putting gas in, filling up the gas can. And I guess when he closed it back up and he started it, that's when it caught fire from the fumes. And he didn't have a fire extinguisher. And I believe I don't know if the whole thing went up, but I think the guy sent Mark pictures.
I think he lost everything.
Did he lose everything? I'm not sure.
But
yeah, it was actually on Mark's channel, Royal, and that was his video. But that's as much as I know about it. And that's a good point. You know, you want to have fire extinguishers in your van or in your truck or in your trailer, just in case that happens, because you just never know. You have a lot of equipment in there, and it's always good to have 2 or 3 fire extinguishers laying around. And you can get them at Costco. You can get them almost anywhere. They're fairly cheap, and just have them with you just in case, because you never know when you'll be able to use them, you know, and you could save somebody's life. Who knows, if you happen to be driving down the street and their car catches fire and you have something there. So, but anyways, Tara Lynn says, starting out, you might not even have the equipment for commercial. No, you don't. I mean, and this is where you kind of have to evaluate whether you want to go after commercial, because if you are planning to go after commercial, you should have the equipment to be competent to go out there and clean commercial, because you know, we've cleaned 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 solar panels on commercial at one time.
And plus, you never know who's watching you while you're cleaning a residential house. And it might be somebody that's a GM for a commercial account or somebody that works for, a really big company. And they might just say, hey, we saw this company, they might call you. So you kind of have to be prepared.
Yeah. Mine's panel wash says, are you using advertising and who do you use for more business? Mine's, I have a marketer that I pay lots of money to. I only use him. I do free advertisements on Nextdoor, but I really don't like Nextdoor because they're outrageous when it comes to pricing. There's Yelp out there that you'll go broke with Yelp. If you go advertise. There's guys out there that do Facebook advertising, but I actually found a marketing company that is top notch. And if you are, interested in something like that, just send me an email. And how he's doing it with me is if there's anybody that needs the services, he will call them. So I will have to give them your number. He will call you and he will see if your company is a good fit. If your company is a good fit, he'll probably end up, um, you know, taking you on as a client. But we did notice that we are getting tons and tons of phone calls now, with our services, and I'm happy with them, and I pay every month. So I'm more than happy to pay what I pay every single month, and because the business is coming in. Caroline says we have 83 real effing reviews. I see a lot of companies buying fake reviews in Las Vegas. Tara Lynn, I mean, don't worry about those companies. The fact of the matter is, that if you go out there and you try to get, or people go out there and try to get the fake reviews, Google is going to find out and they're going to shut them down. And they will shut them down. And before you know it, it's so hard to go out there and um, um, get fake reviews now and get it passed through Google. I actually hired a company that actually goes out and sends emails automatically after we do a job, and it's paid by credit card. This company literally will go out there and send them reminders on leaving reviews. So, we have nothing but 5-star reviews. We don't tell anybody what to put on there. We just let them put the reviews on, and people go out and they actually take a look at your reviews. They read them. So we've never got a fake review, nor will we won't get a fake review at all, because we don't need it, first of all. And second of all, I have a company that actually goes out there and does that. So when Google sees that there is a marketing company asking for the reviews and stuff like that, they check out that company to see if they're legit, and they'll put the review up, or they won't. But we have special links that we actually use, that we leave reviews for the customers, review links for the customers, and they can leave a review. Susan does it all the time. She'll go out there and leave a link for them and send them the link, and then if they want to leave the review, they can. I'd say out of 5 people that we leave the links for, maybe we might get one. Might. So not everybody will leave a review. A lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, I'll leave you a review, but a lot of people don't. So, and we know that. But as you start growing, especially on Google, they see a business that's growing, and if it grows slowly, and it will really, really have a better impact on you than somebody getting 20 reviews all in one day. And they're keen to that. They do know. So Petra says, just keep doing the great job, and you will always do, and blessings will come. Absolutely. Bathrooms are important. Yes. Um, Carolyn says, just let Susan run the live. Bye, Henry. Bye. See ya. I'm out. Okay. Major Ken, also first aid kit, insurance paperwork, and MSDS sheets in your rig is always a good idea. All the safe health and wellness in your trucks. Absolutely. Especially if you got the bigger trucks out there, you know exactly what you're talking about. You know, you get pulled over, CHP is going to want to see documentation. If you have all that, it's even great. Um, Even with our customers, we have a copy of our insurance. So if somebody asks for it, we can just give them our insurance. And we even have people that literally will call us and say, well, I won't actually get it until you actually prove to me that you do have insurance. So what I'll do is as soon as I get off the phone with them, I will send them my business card, my insurance, and that way they have that. And then as soon as they get that, then they're pretty much satisfied, so to speak. We had somebody in Orange County that did that to us, was a lawyer or something, and ended up just basically saying, no, we're not going to do any, we won't do any work until I get that first. And then we ended up sending that to him, and the next day, literally, we booked it pretty much, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else you want to say while you're on? This is your first podcast.
No, I'm good.
Nothing at all.
No, it's just make sure you, especially in the summer months, make sure you're hydrated. It's very important, especially when you're out there on the roof, because, like Henry says, it's hotter up on the roof than it is on the ground in the summer months with the panels and everything. And you want to make sure you stay very well hydrated, or else you're gonna, get heat exhaustion, or anything that like that. So your safety and your health comes first.
Yeah, absolutely. And and this is where the topic, right, as far as prices and stuff like that. You need to make sure that you're pricing right, especially in these next coming months. June, July, August is going to be extremely hot. Hot. So if you're charging peanuts for the job, you won't find those guys anymore. And they won't, because they will not last. First of all, they don't have the equipment. They have the cheaper stuff. They're going out there and they're getting it done really quick, and it's taking them hours. It's not taking them minutes. That's the difference. I can do 5 or 6 jobs, just solar panel cleaning, a day, because I have the right equipment. And if I know that I have the right equipment where I can go out there and get that done. Mun's Advertising, or Mun's, I got your email right now, so I'll get that to you. And thank you for being a super duper fan. We really appreciate that.
And when customers call, I always ask them what city are they in, because I like to schedule people if they're in the same area the same day. If we're going to be in the same area the same day, I try to keep their appointment on around where we've already had another appointment in the same city. That way we're not driving all over the place. And if we have to drive far, I make sure I try to schedule that one first, and then we kind of work our way back.
It's like a route, basically.
Yeah,
So
basically.
I know we've been scheduling a lot, like in Orange County, Mission Viejo, Aliso Viejo, Mission Viejo Lake, and all
San Clemente.
In Orange County. And we actually have a company that gives us the work. So they literally will get their customers and send them emails, and then they give us a call and we schedule. So we're finding a lot, working with solar companies, doing that. We're getting a lot of the business that way too. So that's helping out a lot for us, to keep us constantly going. And then with all the new people coming in, looking for solar panel cleaning during the summer, um, it's getting busier and busier. Look, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Okay. Summertime, everybody is going to call you because they all know when the heat comes that they are not making money off their solar panels and they're not producing 100%. So they're going on to YouTube, Instagram, and other places to get information about solar panel cleaning. And they're finding out that a lot of people don't realize that their solar panels need to be cleaned to get the best production. All the solar farms do, all the commercial accounts do, all the commercial rooftops do, all the carports, commercial carports do. They all call during the summer because they know they got to get them clean because everybody gets a report. Whether you are a residential, you can always call your solar company and ask them how your solar panels are producing. If you have an app, you can always check your app and find out how your solar panels are producing. If you go to the side of your home and look at the meter and it's spinning uh, clockwise instead of counterclockwise, then you know you have a problem with your solar panels, and you might want to call your solar company and ask for an inspection or ask to find out what you are producing. And so you want to be able to um, educate people, let them know solar panels need to be cleaned every 6 months for residential and every 3 months for commercial. And if you're able to get the contracts, you're able to do that, then you will be working far beyond November. And that's the whole idea. So with that being said, guys, hey, thanks a lot, guys, for coming on. We really appreciate that. Petra says, Susan, thinking like a true businesswoman. Appreciate that. I'm glad you guys hung on this long and so forth. So for those of you guys that hung on this long, commercial accounts, you want to charge per panel. For residential, you would, if you charge a flat rate, you're going to be so much better than you charging per panel all day long.
And never put your prices on your website or your door hangers or anything like that.
Right.
You want them to call you to get the pricing.
I have my competition that goes and they put their prices on their door hangers and they put them on their website, and I love it. I love it because they're not getting on the phone with them. They already know their prices. But you go to my website and you take a look at my website, there's a reason why you have to fill that form out, or there's a reason why there's a call me button on there. Because I want you to call me so I can go out there and explain that to you as I'm talking to you, because I'm asking you certain questions. So, all right, guys, with that being said, I did put my website on there. It's SoCalSolarPanelWashing.com. If you guys want to take a look at the website, see how it looks, and kind of give you guys ideas, you can do that too. So with that, we are going to be taking off, getting out of here. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. We really appreciate that. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes now. And with that being said, thank you guys for coming on. From me and Susan, we'll see you guys, next week? Next week.
After Memorial Weekend.
Oh, after Memorial Weekend.
Everybody have a safe Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be working, by the way.
On Memorial Day.
On Memorial Day. We will be working. Business as usual. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week. See ya. Peace.